Who are you? I said after a moment. What do you want? The stranger grinned at me again, showing another flash of those yellow teeth. I think you know the answer to the first question, he said. And if you don't know it now...
Death is death. I stared at her for what felt like ages, not really knowing what to do or how to leave the room without disturbing her. When I turned my head back from her hand to look at her face, she was inches away from me. Almost time? You ready? He asked with a huge smile on his face. Fuck. That was all I could say. Fuck. Sounded like she'd make shit. You've just shared a rice cracker with the Sweet Goblin.
Maybe I'm the Sweet Goblin.
Welcome to episode 90 of Ghost Huns.
We're officially in the 90s, motherfucker!
Ghost Huns. And did you ever think we'd get to a 90 episode?
Yes.
Oh.
I did, but it bloody hell.
Bloody hell, Ken.
Bloody hell, Ken. The 90s of Ghost Huns. What the fuck?
I know.
We've done so well.
We've come so far. We've also pretty much spent the day together, so we have nothing to say.
Oh, I have things to say.
Oh, do you've got talking points?
Give me a second.
Let me check my notes. Talking points.
It was the Battle of the Boyne.
Oh my God.
What?
It was the Battle of the Boyne. I have more to say on the haunting of my house.
Oh, go on.
The other night,
yeah,
I went to the toilet, middle of the night, right, parents are in bed. I went to the loo. I was on the loo. I heard, Hannah.
No.
I heard someone, and I went, yeah? Thinking my mum had got up. I went to the door because I'd finished. No one there.
What?
I kept hearing Hannah, and I was like, what? And then it was Hannah.
What
over
the fuck?
and over again. It was a woman's voice, but like in a Hannah. And I was like, why's she whispering? It's only me here and my dad here.
Well, didn't you say that Freddie, your nephew, started waving at a woman and was like, "Money"?
Yeah, he started doing that. There's someone.
So there's
someone in the
your
house. 100%. And then I could hear creaking, like some. That's what I just thought. Someone was stood outside. Open the door.
Your
No
house
one there.
is haunted.
Scary, isn't it?
Hearing your name.
Hannah.
Who was in the house? Just your mum, dad.
I mean,
that's weird. Was your mum? Your mum does like a prank.
Yeah, but
she was in bed.
She was in bed.
And also, that wouldn't have travelled to the loo, like.
No, not if she was in bed. No, it was someone was outside. Hannah.
Oh, I hate that.
I know, and I was like, why is she whispering? I'm coming out in a second.
Oh, fucking hell.
Open the door, no one fucking there. Really weird.
That is weird.
And I could hear footsteps, like, you know what I mean, outside, but there was nobody there.
I mean, your house is creaky. What do we think, by the way, of Ghost Huns cap? Ghost Huns merch? It's quite stunning, isn't it?
Of course it is.
I just thought I'd rep it. You know what? One thing I want to... Can I get rid of this little tail?
What, yeah?
This little, my little waggy tail.
You've got a tiny head.
Yeah, I do have a little pea head.
Oh, yeah. I always have mine on the last one so I can pop it on and just have my hair flowing underneath it.
Oh, so maybe I should loosen it.
Loosen up, babe.
Jesus, Susie, just fucking...
Anyway, do you want to pick a tarot?
Me and Karen went to a sound bath.
Oh, that's your talking point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you have a nice time?
We really did, actually.
Friend of the pod, Karen Hobbs.
Friend of the pod, Karen Hobbs. Basically, we sat down. So the ICA in London, the International... I used to know what it was that stood for.
Do you want me to find out?
Cultural of Art. Yeah, ICA. What does it stand for?
I heart cashews. No. International Compliance Association?
No, it's not that. What is it?
International Calcium Association?
Type in ICA London, Pall Mall.
Pall Mall. I hate that. London.
It was...
Bolo. Institution of Contemporary Arts.
Institution of Contemporary Arts. Thank you.
It looks like a shit building.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's like on the on the run up to Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
Down that sort of big parade.
Yeah.
It's sort of hidden in. It's like this really sort of nondescript little door.
Right.
And inside they do all these like they'll do like art house
contemporary
films
art.
And contemporary, like they'll do the like weird like exhibition, like odd art like art housey stuff.
I'm with you.
And I booked this ticket to hear John Hopkins and his new album, and it's like it's really like classical, ambient, trippy, and it's kind of like this immersive experience where you lie down on the floor. We went in and there was fog everywhere. It's pitch black with just like one singular like red light just like lighting up the fog. So it's like you're walking into hell. It was spooky. Oh my God, honestly.
It doesn't sound very relaxing.
No, it was. And then you lie down on this, like all of it is like padded with like soundproof.
It's like an insane asylum.
Yeah, it was like a padded room. And I was
are trapped now. You've all been sectioned.
Yeah,
this is the only way we can get you here.
And then we were like laid down on the floor. And they played the album for an hour, and all the lights were changing, and they're like, oh my God, it was amazing.
Did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it.
Did Karen Hobbs, friend of the podcast, enjoy it?
She really enjoyed it. She was like, I've never done anything like this before, and now every time I think we meet up, we'll have to do an audio experience.
Nice that you. I'm fine that you didn't invite me. I'm absolutely fine.
You were there when Karen offered to come with me. Actually,
I'm just taking the piss. I don't think I would have enjoyed that at all. To be honest.
I'll take you to a soundbath if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go. Next time I find one.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll be there. No, I don't. I think Karen should have gone with you because I don't think it would have been. I'm a bit of a piss taker on her. I just would have.
I think you would have absolutely tripped out and lost your mind.
I feel like I would have gone to sleep.
Yeah, I did jerk awake at I had a 2-minute nap.
Yeah, and
for me, that's loads.
I would be asleep. I would be fine. It doesn't take me long to go to sleep, and I can sleep for a long time. Yeah,
that would cocoon you into sleep.
Can I interest you in a tarot?
Yes, please. Okay, here we go.
What's your process when you're picking tarots?
At random chaos.
What about all the ones hidden?
This one! Oh, fuck! It's reverse hierophant.
Sorry?
It's the reverse hierophant.
Let me see.
Hierophant. Hierophant.
Hierophant.
Hierophant.
Oh, hierophant.
Hierophant. But
reverse.
Upside down. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
What does it mean?
I'm just going to do it.
It's going to be a bit dodgy, isn't it?
Meaning upside
I don't
down.
like when it's upside down, Hannah. That means all sorts of shit.
Oh, it does. It could be good.
What's it mean?
I love having that. When the Hierophant card appears upside down, it can represent intolerance, touchiness, slanderous behaviour towards people. It can also represent a penchant for conformism, which can distort the analysis of the contemporary world. We've just been talking about contemporary art.
Wow, we have.
That's a bit weird.
That is a bit weird,
isn't it?
So what does that mean I'm going to do in this episode?
It's very unclear. He often refers as like a rebellious teenager who begins to question society and take part in anti-institutional activities. And I just said insane asylum, which is the same thing.
Wow. So I'm about to go on a rally.
You should go on a protest. I hope you voted Green.
Why?
Because that's kind of, fuck the...
Yeah, fuck the police.
Fuck the police. Maybe just do a Just Stop Oil, something like that.
Just
I could see you doing a Just Stop Oil.
Can you?
Yeah.
Really? Do I come across like that?
No, I could see you doing it for a date. If somebody was like, I'm part of the Just Stop, you'd be like, yeah, I'll come, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'll try and impress you.
Get your best orange tea out and fuck off down to...
tin of soup and just throw it at the Mona Lisa.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, that's not too bad. I think you're just going to have a little rebellious moment, you know? I'm
going to rebel against society.
And you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all for fucking the system up and jarring it, follow your own path. And actually, I do mean that. I don't think...
No one accused you.
No, I don't think we should conform.
No, I completely agree.
And a lot of people do. Yeah, some people have pensions, Hannah.
God, I might need a pension.
I don't have a pension and I have no plan for one.
I think I must have some.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I used to have a job. Remember the good old days?
Remember.
When you get paid regardless. No, we're fine. Listen, I'm not going to... I don't know how much longer into my retirement I'm going to want to continue this life anyway, so...
Okay. Would you like to do part 2 of the story that you did last week?
My Hinge date thinks my house is haunted.
The last we heard, fucking Pennywise turned up at the...
Pennywise, I was like, stay in the house, try and go to sleep. And then he was like, hang on, why am I conforming? to what this bish is saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave.
And then what did she ended
and
up
then
there
she
by
was
being
like,
like, clever
should have
girl.
locked the door.
Should have locked the door.
Actually, yeah, you should have locked the door, to be fair.
Yeah, always lock the door.
Bit of a weird one. How did I get this ghost? What was it? The question spilled out of me to Penny. Everyone tries to complicate ghosts. Like there's always some backstory or they latch onto you because it's someone you knew or something. The truth is, it's just a glitch in the afterlife system. Some get lost and hang around. They try to cling to any life they can find and hang on. So if you get stuck with one, that's it, Penny explained. Why me? It's totally indiscriminate. It's like having a virus. Yeah, it's like a virus. The pizza guy could have brought it in. Usually, if you're mentally healthy enough, you don't notice them. They'll wilt and just go away. They live on attention. Clearly, you're not clear of mine. That's why I told you to stay home. We don't need you out there running around, spread it about. Penny answered.
Penny.
But it looked and acted like people in my life. My exes, my mom. They evolved that to show up as people you know and love so that you would keep them around. If you're healthy enough, it doesn't present that way. And the only way to beat it is to get better, which you seem to struggle with doing. It talks to you, interacts with you, drives you crazy. What do you think happened to all those homeless people out on the street screaming at nothing? So the house isn't haunted, it's only people that are haunted.
That's an interesting theory.
It is, yeah. No, it's the person that's haunted, not the house, is just an excuse made up by writers to keep the family in the houses and movies and books and stuff. So how do I get better? You've just got to let the thing in and be stronger than it. Don't give in. You never should have fucked with that wild ex when she showed up. You knew that she was bad news and probably could have given you an STD or got pregnant. You knew the ex.
God, the fun police is out.
No STDs now.
No jeopardy.
It's only
Come on.
It's only a bit of Chlamyd.
It's just a bit of clap.
It's just a bit of... You knew the ex you liked wasn't real. Deep down, you knew that she wouldn't just show up unannounced and want you again, but you let it in. So what do? We don't do it. You do it. I'm leaving and you just have to fight through it and not let this thing take you down. It will eventually fade. Okay, so it can't kill me? Penny hesitated. I didn't like that. Right? They can't kill me. There's no documented cases of a ghost hurting or killing anyone. You think ghosts leave fingerprints? DNA? You hear of someone dropping dead randomly of a heart attack, fall in the shower, someone who doesn't seem depressed committing suicide. They mess you up in doing it. This information didn't set well. Neither did Penny leaving, despite her encouragement that I could get through it, along with a reminder that I couldn't leave the house or interact with anyone. Wait, I ran out and caught Penny before she drove away. So Penny is a normal person, but she just seems to know all this shit about ghosts.
Oh, so Penny's not dead.
So Penny's not dead.
Right.
I had to ask the question. Do you have it now? The ghost? Oh, I said, don't you have it now, the ghost? Because like, if she's around there, then it's like a virus. Once you get through one, you're immune, Penny said and drove off. I was on my own. I turned on every light in the house, turned on a bunch of electronics, just like Penny said. I wanted to draw this thing in this time. I sat there, numbly watching TV and waiting, trying to remember the things that Penny told me. I had to just let it come and ignore it, not give in. I couldn't leave home. It would get fainter and fainter, and I just had to keep pushing through. Don't reach out to her. That would show weakness. Just ride it out. Try to sleep. So that's what I did. I went to bed. And then it started. I was lying in bed, and I felt the heat start to crank. I started sweating profusely underneath the blanket I pulled up over my head. I could feel it there next to me, right next to the bed. Then I felt it start to pull on the blanket. It was strong. I was not going to be able to fight it off. I soon found out I was looking at my younger brother, James. He'd passed away when he was in his early 20s. This guy has had quite a tragic life. Everyone is dead. Always stronger, always more confident. James was a force of nature with no fear, which is why he passed away. Thinking he could drink entire bottles of liquor and drive and not get caught or drive off a highway and crash his truck. He started to climb on top of my chest and I turned away. I laid on my side and just let him keep trying to wrestle me and grab my attention, but I ignored him. This virus of a ghost was diabolical. It knew James would rupture my heart, even worse than my mum. I never got to say goodbye to him. He was there 1 minute and gone the next. He kept chiding me in my ears, trying to get me to fight back the way we always would when we were little. It took everything in me not to turn around. Then I felt him twist my ear. It's a bit like your story. You've got to ignore it and not talk to it.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that theory a few times.
Really?
Yeah, there's been like an actual I listened to this podcast. I can't remember what it's called, but it was about a woman who literally was like she was convinced she saw this demon in the corner of her room, and this woman who was giving her a massage. It was like a spa retreat, and this woman had come to her like lodge to give her this massage, and she was like, "Just ignore it." And she was like, "What?" She was like, "I know what you can see. I can feel it here. Ignore it." And and I've heard that a few times. It's like you don't fuel the energy of them by like
especially
acknowledging.
shouldn't bang them.
Don't bang them.
Don't shag them. Just the tip.
But
Come on.
Tender stem tip.
Okay then, well, that's interesting. Penny had said it was like a real virus. It was just going to get worse before it got better, and I could see the light. I finally got out of the bed and ran to the bathroom. I could finally breathe for a moment and collect myself. But then the light started to flicker. On and off. It took a second, but James started to come back into the picture in the bathroom mirror, drenched in blood. The sight of it got me crying uncontrollably. James started to beg me, sounding softer and pathetic. Please, please, you've got to help me, but I knew it wasn't really him. There was nothing I could do. He was bleeding out, his blood was splashing all over me. He leaned all his weight on me and I stopped fighting. I let him take me down to the floor and then he flicked the lights out. I felt myself starting to feel like I was suffocating. I woke up in the bathtub half full with water and the shower pounding down on my face. I also tried to kill him.
God.
Oh, I mean, I'm not that arse because he sounds like a bit of a knob to me. It took me a second to realise something odd. The lighting was dim and murky. It was candlelight. It got you to turn the power out and I can't figure out how to get it back on, Penny explained. I couldn't say Penny's back. Fuck knows how. I couldn't think of how it would... Penny's back! I couldn't think of how I would have even done that, especially considering I'd just woken up from a blackout. It had you deep. You were almost gone, Penny went on. Had you deep. Yeah. So, what happened, I asked Penny. I realised I had to come and help you. I heard the grotesque sound of a grisly throat clearing outside the bathroom door. Yeah, terrifying. I saw Penny's face drop in a way that made me very, very uneasy. Someone tried the door handle. It rattled. But it was locked. I heard an angry man scream at the door. Open the fucking door right now! Can't it just get right through the door? It's a spirit. I asked Penny. It's what this one wants to do. It wants to get angrier, Penny whispered back. Penny killed the candlelight. Pure, unfiltered darkness reigned again. The angry man kept yelling belligerently and trying the door. He pounded on it, nearly breaking the thick wood. I had been through a lot. My body felt ravaged. I have no idea if I was going to be able to sustain whatever pissed off evil was going to come through that door very, very soon. I knew one thing, though. I was going to fight it for Penny. I wasn't going to... Oh, he wants to bang her again. Obsessed. I wasn't going to let this poor woman suffer anymore, even if she was supposed to be my Sherpa, and how she was the one crying, scared. I felt Penny run away from me. She was out the bathroom door before I could stop her. I could hear her struggle. I went out into the living room, but there was no one there. The front door was wide open, and I watched Penny's shitty car drive off down the street.
Harsh.
Penny wouldn't reply to my text calls or social media requests. I wasn't sure if she was alive or dead. I never felt or saw odd things in my house ever again after that. I felt truly alone again for the first time in a long time, in a good and a bad way. The solitude allowed me to reflect on everything with Penny and what she said, the way the ghosts appeared and presented themselves, how they were good spirits and bad spirits. I wondered if Penny was just one of them all along, but a good one. I let it go and happily went on with my life. I dated again, I got a girlfriend. Said girlfriend and I went to a farmer's market today. I drifted away as she got lost in some jewellery stand or something I wasn't interested in. I wandered by a candle booth. The curly hair of a woman manning it caught my hair. It was Penny.
Caught my hair?
What did I say? Caught my hair! What? The hair caught my hair. The curly hair of a woman manning it caught my eye. It was Penny. My eyes lingered on her as I walked past. She never noticed me. That was fine with me. I just kept walking. The end.
Oh, a tragic tale.
Yeah, unsure, to be honest. But lots of different spirits and ghosts. Quite chaotic in that bathroom in the end.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? There was a man
Penny
and then there was a brother.
back.
Penny came back finally.
There's Nicole Scherzinger, who's been gone for 2 years.
Oh, very complicated and chaotic.
Well, sometimes they will be like that.
They will, yeah.
Okay.
They will.
Would you like a story?
I'd love one, please.
The seat next to me was empty on my flight back to London. But when I woke in the night, I found a strange man sitting there, and our conversation will haunt me forever.
Oh, stunning.
It was the sound of a throat being cleared that woke me. I jerked awake in a half daze. My wrist ached from where I'd been propping my head up, and the taste of congealed chicken coated my tongue.
I would love that.
The remnants of the tepid in-flight meal I'd forced down a few hours back. On the screen in front of me, the movie I'd been watching, some old thriller starring Brad Pitt, played soundlessly. My headphones must have fallen into my lap when I dozed off. Rubbing my eyes with one hand, I gazed out over a sea of blue seats. Rows of 3 that stretched towards the curtain at the far end of the aisle. The cabin around me was in that weird twilight limbo you only really find on planes. Silence blanketed everything. Circular windows looked out on darkness. Passengers lay back against headrests with their mouths half open, heads lolling against neck pillows. Tired people desperate to make the time pass as quickly as possible. Trouble sleeping? The voice made me jump. I'd been in my own little world, and I haven't even noticed the man next to me. The stranger now occupying the aisle seat, which had definitely been unoccupied when I dozed off. He was there. I rubbed my eyes again and blinked at him. The man looked to be around my age, although his shaved head made it hard to tell. He wore dark jeans and a black hoodie. There was nothing that notable about his appearance, other than the angular line of his jaw and his eyes, which were a very light blue, almost grey. Are you... I glanced up the aisle towards the front of the plane, then looked back at him. Did you have to move seats or something? We were sitting right at the back of the plane, near the toilets, on the only row that has 2 seats to a side rather than 3. I'd been one of the first to board, and I remember watching the other passengers filing on the plane after me, silently hoping none would claim the seat beside mine. And up until now, none of them had. My new companion watched me for a second, not saying anything. I noticed that his lips were turned up slightly in what I took to be a half smile. You know what's weird? He said after a moment. There are a couple of 100 people on this plane, and you're the only one right now that's awake. Eh? Everyone else in this cabin, I mean. The man lifted an arm and gestured vaguely around us. They're all dead to the world. I stared at him, unsure I'd heard him correctly. At this point, my head still felt fuzzy from sleep, and I was struggling to concentrate. But before I had a chance to say anything back, the man started speaking again. Don't you think planes are weird? At night? Sort of creepy in a way. People put their headphones in, and they shut their eyes, and they all sort of disappear into themselves. It's like the whole cabin just gets put on pause. A little flying box, miles up in the sky, full of people in limbo, feels kind of fragile, doesn't it? I continued staring at this guy.
Oh, I'd be like, someone get me a fucking vodka.
Yeah, get me a fucking... Yeah, like 6 triple gins.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you know what? I had a gin and tonic the other day, and it was so delicious.
I love it when that happens.
It was so good, because I had it at home. So it was like one of those miniatures.
Yeah.
50 centilitres, fresh lemon, loads of ice.
Yes.
A little bit of tonic.
Yes.
Fuck me.
It's so good.
Oh.
I prefer a vodka tonic.
Do you?
I do prefer a vodka tonic.
You don't like gin?
It's fine. I just prefer vodka, I think. But those little Grey Goose ones, they're so delicious that you don't actually need anything.
Those little tall, thin bottles.
Straight.
Yeah.
Just have it straight over loads of ice.
And my vodka
and
martini.
Lemon. Oh, yes.
Shout out to Freddie, who very kindly dinner partied
Does
me.
Freddie listen to the podcast?
Yeah, he's the one who sent in the story about his stepmom.
Well, next time you have a dinner party, can I come?
It was absolutely amazing. And when I arrived, he went... Vodka martini, gin martini. And I was like, oh my God. And I never had one.
What did you have? Vodka?
Vodka martini.
They're fucking strong.
Oh my God. But it didn't,
Delicious.
do you know what? It didn't send me like blind.
No.
It was just a lovely warm buzz.
Yes. A vodka martini is so chic.
Oh, I felt very chic.
I'd really like to come, please, Freddie.
Freddie.
And have a vodka martini.
Can you have us, please?
Thank
He's coming to see our Edinburgh show.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Him
great.
and his husband Ollie.
Oh, stunning.
Stunning. Anyway. I continued staring at the guy, my mind trying to process what he was saying, trying to formulate a response, but by this point I thought I had a pretty good idea of what was happening. It was simple enough. The man wasn't all there. That had to be it. He was a couple of playing cards short of a full deck. Maybe not completely crazy or anything, but definitely a bit of a weirdo at the very least. I guessed he might have been hopping around the cabin ever since the seatbelt light went off, chatting away to anyone he could find to listen, voicing his thoughts to people until they lost interest, and now he'd worked his way
That should be
back
illegal
to
on
me.
a plane.
Completely. Yeah, it's like in Ubers where you can set it to don't talk to me. It's like...
Because who wants to talk on a plane?
No one. Just don't.
I just want to get this over
And
with.
it's so many hours. If you're going long haul, you're like,
If
you've got to be careful about
if you're in cattle class.
Cattle class.
If you're in the cow class.
Yeah, down in the zoo.
No one's enjoying that.
Yeah, I paused, trying to land on the best reply. I didn't want to be rude to the guy, but at the same time, I really didn't want to get trapped in a conversation. I was tired. My body ached, and all I wanted to do was sleep the rest of the flight away. My trip to Mumbai had been a tiring one, and our arrival time in Heathrow had to be another 4 hours off at least. Guess I never really thought about it like that, I said after a moment. I suppose everyone's tired and just keen to get home as quickly as possible, so yeah, everyone sleeps, apart from you. Sorry? Everyone goes to sleep, apart from you. Well, yeah, well, I was asleep. I tried my best to stop the irritation from creeping into my voice. Yeah, but then I got woken up.
By you fucking wank.
Bell piece. The man stared at me with his blue-grey eyes for a moment longer, then he smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. The thin lips stretched back and I caught sight of his teeth, which were a dirty yellow. Okay, you got me there, he said. I suppose I did sort of wake you up, but in my defence, you really don't have long to choose. Choose what? Whether it'll be this one, or whether it gets passed on. The man's smile vanished. He fixed me with cold eyes. There was something sort of unnerving about how quickly his expression changed, how fast his grin was replaced with blankness, and I felt a hint of unease worm its way into my stomach. For the first time since he'd started speaking to me, I found myself wondering if the guy really was just a harmless weirdo looking for a chat, if maybe he wasn't a little further gone than I'd first thought. Dangerous, even. And what he said next did absolutely nothing to ease my mind. You don't need to worry about me, the stranger muttered. His face was so skinny I could see the muscles in his jaw working as he spoke. I'm not going to hurt you. Not unless you give me permission, that is. Cold fingers ran down my back. I tried to keep my voice as calm and level as possible. Look, mate, I'm just minding my own business back here. As I spoke, I found my eyes drifting to the twilight aisle running down the plane, searching for a member of cabin crew. I'm happy to chat to you, but I don't want any trouble or anything like that, all right? The cabin crew were not in sight. Of course they weren't. When you were trying to settle into a film, they were every 5 seconds checking to make sure your fucking seatbelt was on, but when you actually need one, they're nowhere to be seen. I told you. They're asleep, whispered the man. What? The cabin crew, Mike? They're asleep. Everyone's asleep on this plane but you. He'd read my mind. That was the first thought that ran through my head. Oh, Jesus, he read my fucking mind. And then, off the back of that, he knows my name. I opened my mouth and closed it again, pulled in a deep breath. Who are you? I said after a moment. What do you want? The stranger grinned at me again, showing another flash of those yellow teeth. I think you know the answer to the first question, he said. And if you don't know it now...
Death.
Yeah.
He's death.
I think you might be.
Like in Joe Black.
Oh, and he was watching a Brad Pitt movie.
Oh
Whoa,
my God.
Shit. If you don't know it now, I'm sure you'll figure it out. And as for what I want... The man looked around the cabin, taking in the rows of sleeping passengers. I want you to make a simple choice, Mike. It's a choice plenty of people have had to make before, if that helps. A choice your philosophers have been arguing about for centuries, too. He turned back to me and locked his pale eyes on mine. It's like I said to you before. It's either this one, or it gets passed on. There's no other way. But what? I tried to stop my voice from shaking and failed. What gets passed on? You know. No, I don't fucking know. I don't understand what... We don't have time, Mike. You need to make sure... No. You need to make your choice. It's like a DVD, see? I can keep it on pause for a while, but if I leave it on for too long, the whole thing will shut down, and I know you don't want that. He stared at me for a moment longer. When I didn't say anything back, he sighed. Look, okay, I can give you a bit more information. I can't promise it'll make the choice any easier, but that's not my problem. First off, take yourself. There's a reason it's you I'm talking to right now, Mike. A reason you're the one that's still awake. Do you know what it is? I don't. It's because you're the best one. The best person on this plane. You're the pick of the bunch. And what? You're the best, morally speaking. You've got the most points. It's mad, isn't it? I know that's what you're thinking, and I'll admit it is sort of hard to believe, but you're decent, though. You're not that great. That's the thing, though. For whatever reason, it's a pretty low-scoring bunch on this plane. No saints on this aircraft, let me tell you, and more than just a few bad ones. The old man sitting 3 rows in front of you is killed 4 little girls. If you can believe that. Started when he was a teenager and he got a taste for it. Never got caught. And there's a woman in business class who knocked down a teenager when she was drunk at the wheel a few years back and just kept driving. Never got caught either, but let me tell you, the guilt is eating her up. See that fat bloke on the far side of the plane in the aisle seat? He tried... Enough! The stranger's words were streaming into my head like insects. I felt ill. The only thing I knew for certain right then was that I wanted him to stop talking. I needed him to stop talking. Just leave me alone and let me sleep, please. I can leave you alone, but I'm afraid you have to choose first. The clock's ticking. You can close your eyes and go back to sleep right now without saying anything else, and all of this will go away. But I do mean it will all go away. Or you can ask me to leave one more time, and I'll take that to mean you're picking option number 2. The passing it on.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like,
obviously,
yep.
yeah.
Just remember though, Mike, the group you're in limbo with here aren't a very good bunch, but the next lot I pay a visit to, well, they really might be.
Oh. So he's like, basically...
Go down with the wrong
this plane can go down with innocent. You and the fucking bastards.
Yeah.
Kill the innocent, please.
Yeah. Oh, can I kill the innocent, please?
Just, super quickly, before you go. I'd like to kill the innocent.
I'd kill the innocent. Yep,
Do you see those innocent? I want them dead.
Yeah, dead. I stared at him and he stared right back, stared at me with eyes that were now a stony grey. I've seen those eyes every single night since in my dreams. I see them when I wake up too and when I shut my own eyes.
Oh, so he has picked past on then.
He chose the Hannah and Susie option.
Yes.
Susie and Hannah option.
Whichever's going to get me back to Heathrow, please.
Yeah, exactly. I see them when I wake up too and when I shut my own eyes in the shower and the hot water pours down my face. I see them when I sit at the breakfast table scrolling on my phone to look at the day's headlines, to look for a very specific type of headline. I want you to leave, I muttered. I want you to go away and leave me alone. I can try and tell you that I didn't know what I was saying at the time, that I still thought he was nothing more than a weird guy talking shit to me on a flight. But
you knew, Mike.
I can't tell you
and
that.
And that's fine.
We both know I'd be lying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The stranger grinned across at me. For just a second, the low lighting in the cabin flickered around us. As it did, I had the sense, so fleeting that I can't be sure I didn't imagine it, that I could see the outline of the bones beneath his skin, that I could just see the jagged shape of his skull hiding just below the pale flesh of his face. Then the lights flickered back on and the man got to his feet. Good chatting to you, Mike, he said as he moved into the aisle. You take care of yourself.
Because you're gonna live.
You're gonna land. Land and live. I could suddenly hear rustling and movement around me, the sound of other passengers shifting in their seats, and at the far end of the plane, a member of the cabin crew bustled through the blue curtain between business class and economy. She held out a bottle of water to a passenger near the front, smiling and saying something I couldn't catch. 3 rows ahead of me, an old man stood up from his seat and stretched.
Was he the murderer?
Yeah, murdery fuck. I looked around for the stranger who'd been sitting next to me, but he was already gone. He never came back.
No.
I still see him, though. Like I said before, I see him every single day in the quiet moments when I think I'm alone and my mind has nothing to do but think. When I lie in bed at night, struggling to sleep, that's when I see his cold, grey eyes watching me, judging me. And when I finally read a story about a plane going down somewhere, maybe with a failed engine over the Atlantic, or maybe just disappearing off the face of the earth like they do. Disappearing off the face of the earth like they sometimes do.
MH370.
Hashtag MH370. Where did it go? Pilot. That's when I'll know.
The only reason I'm laughing is because somebody was stop it! And then we brought it up again.
We brought it up again. We can't help it.
Sorry.
It was fitting.
It's following us. It's topical. Topical. That's what they call it. Topical.
Well, we're so topical.
That's what those girls are. They're topical. Say what you like about them, but they're bloody topical.
And when I finally read a story about a plane going down somewhere, maybe with a failed engine over the Atlantic, or maybe just disappearing off the face of the earth like they sometimes do, that's when I'll know. That's when I'll know someone out there made a choice that I never could.
I like it. I like that.
It was good. It was a bit Stephen King-y, wasn't it?
A bit, yeah. You know,
the impossible decision, even though it's not impossible
at all.
Not in any way for us.
No, I was like, pass it on. Also, why doesn't everyone just pass it on?
Well, it's a bit like that other story, isn't it? It's like, I keep passing that.
Just keep doing it. Can we all agree now, if next time you go onto a flight, probably to Benetton.
Alicante.
Yeah. If someone says, let's all just keep passing it on. Yeah?
Pass it on.
Let's pass it on. I've got a really little-y.
Please?
Do you like a little-y?
Please.
before we move on to Creep of the Week. Ever since I was little, I could see this ghost. The first time I remember seeing him, I was 4 years old. I'd been playing on the stairs in my family's house, sitting on the landing and driving little matchbox cars down the banister. Fucking hell! I thought he was on a car on the banister.
That is dicing with death.
Like, you know, with his fingers. I got a little too into the race that I was making happen at the time and stepped off the landing and into the air. Next thing I know, I'm spiralling down and there's this man standing at the bottom covered in blood and smiling at me. My mum thought I'd hit my head pretty hard when she heard me screaming about the scary man. She never believed me. I saw him regularly from then on, though. At first, he was kind of a blur, a barely recognisable person about 6 feet tall with wide shoulders. It sounds fit. I could tell his hair was dark brown and almost everything about him was covered in rich scarlet. As I got older, he slowly became more and more clear. The features got more and more defined. I could eventually see the deep hazel of his eyes and the crooked grin he had, the same as mine. I knew because he had the same chipped tooth as I did from a fall when I was 12. I started to notice scars on his arms and legs and was finding myself getting cuts and scratches in the same areas giving me those scars. When I was 17, I'd finally realised that he was me.
Oh, yeah.
I'd hit my last real growth spurt finally and cut my hair short for the first time in years, and that's when he started speaking to me. So, don't you want to know what happens?
God.
He said. Don't you want to know how it happens? If you tell me, does that mean that I can change it? I retorted back. I know I sound crazy, but he was there talking to me. I could smell the harsh iron from all the blood that was soaking him. It dripped from his shirt onto the floor, leaving small puddles on the hardwood of my room. Well, considering I'm you and I had the same exact conversation with myself when I was you, I would say probably not. He smiled back at me. It's really not so bad. We went out pretty quick, unlike the others that were with us.
Oh, God.
What
That's
do you
giving
mean,
enough
the others?
of a hint.
I'd be like, I'm going to stay at home alone. What do you mean, the others? Oh, just some friends. I'll give you this hint, though. We die at 26. Not much of a hint. Alone. Separated from those friends and do with that what you will. With that, he vanished. I didn't see him again until the day before my 26th birthday. 3 hours ago. I'd repressed all these memories for the last few years. It must have been all the stress I was under at the time, trying to apply for colleges and the like. Obviously, my morbid teenage imagination was just stretched thin. I'm turning 26 tomorrow. Some friends of mine from college had planned a whole trip. We're going to a nice lake house a few hours away with one of their cousins owned. It was going to be a relaxing weekend, drinking, goofing off. Maybe I'd finally get with Annie, the girl that I'd been flirting back and forth with for a few weeks now. I had the TV on, the news, just background noise while I was packing the last of my things, and that's when he showed up. So, almost time? You ready? He asked with a huge smile on his face. Fuck. That was all I could say. Fuck. Sounded like to make shit. That's how you go.
Fuck.
That's how you go. On the fucking toilet. Fuck. Dead. The floodgates opened, all the memories flooding back, seeing him until I was 17. Every time getting more and more clear. Now he was so vivid, I felt that I could reach out and touch him. The smell of blood was stronger than ever. I could hear it dripping as it pooled underneath him. How? How does it happen then? I asked. Oh, I'm not going to spoil the fun. He let out a laugh the same as mine. Just watch the news. Also, go ahead and give Jake a call. It won't do any good, though. I looked over at the television. There was a report about a string of murders happening over the past few weeks up and around the town where the lake house is. I looked back to my ghost and noticed something had changed. Now, with all the blood, I could see where it had come from. The gash in his neck let out a small geyser of blood as he laughed. I assumed that... You know, I actually tried to warn you when we fell down the stairs when we were 4. I thought I could stop all this somehow. And then I remembered I'd already seen it all happen before. It's a cycle. There's no use fighting it. He laughed again. See you soon. Jesus. He popped out of existence. The smell slowly faded. I looked back to the TV, listening to the report. Were we all going to die tonight? I called Jake, who was driving us all there. I begged him to call off the trip, but he wasn't having it. He thought I just didn't want to celebrate my birthday. Said he was coming over in an hour to pick me up. I turn 26 tomorrow and it's going to be my last birthday.
Oh.
The end.
No, you've got to run away at that point.
Well, I mean, he wasn't having it. I'm not fucking coming, Jake.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay
It's not as
here.
if it's like, oh, well, he turned up in his car.
I'd go to like a Morrison's.
Would you? Hide in a Morrison's?
That's just where I think everything's probably okay in a Morrison's.
I think that's, well, yeah, but you can't hide there. I'd probably hide in TK Maxx. Amongst the salesmen.
Are you mad? No, there's too many things that go wrong there.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like fights happen in TK Maxx. There's only one of everything.
Yeah.
Everyone gets all snatchy.
Yeah. Oh, that's like my ideal mecca, isn't it?
Okay, we ready for a creep of the week?
Yes, please.
Can you do the... Do you just have a lisp?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Okay, I'm not gonna... Oh, I'm gonna... We can read the name. This is amazing. Okay,
Right,
gorgeous.
creep of the week.
Creep
of the week.
Poof, poof.
Creep of the week. Creep of the week. Creep of the week.
Hey, my name is Barbara, and since I was little, I've had this thing. I'm not sure what to call it, but it's some sort of perception to things not everyone can see. There was one time when I was 12 and I was visiting my home country, where my family owned a big white house with lots of rooms and long hallways. The thing about this house, and the reason why my parents bought it, was because of the stairs. It had big white stairs from the first floor all the way to the fourth, with big steps on each floor. On the first floor, right under the stairs, there was a big space. My parents turned into some sort of cellar where we kept boxes and old furniture that we no longer used. This story takes place December of 2017. As I said, I was 12 and visiting for the holidays. We were putting up some Christmas decorations and taking boxes out of the cellar, when I decided it would be a nice time to play with my little cousin, who was 4 at the time. I carried him on my shoulders and started running around the house. When we ran in front of the cellar, I felt him move as if he wanted to get down, so I stopped, held him with my hip, and he looked at me with teary eyes and turned to look at the cellar, pointing at a box. I thought he wanted something from in there, so I started walking towards it, and suddenly I had goosebumps and a horrible feeling of fear ran through my body as I got closer. My cousin moved and managed to hop out of my arms and run off. I was left alone in front of the big doors of the cellar. Then I heard a really soft noise coming from the back. I stepped inside and turned on the small light that hung from the ceiling. It flickered as I walked through the boxes. The whole house was suddenly in complete silence, and only my footsteps and breathing were making a noise. That's not walking, is it? Stop it, honey. I looked behind a couple of shelves because my curiosity wouldn't let me leave without knowing what my cousin had seen. It was when I looked behind one of the boxes I saw something move. The empty box of the rabbit!
Shut up! That scared me. I was really into that. Rabbit!
Rabbit! Why would it be a rabbit? The box was big enough to fit someone or to cover up someone. Terrified, I looked behind it. There was a woman.
No!
Standing totally still, except for her left hand. She was wiggling her fingers against the wall behind her. I froze. I stared at her for what felt like ages, not really knowing what to do or how to leave the room without disturbing her. When I turned my head back from her hand to look at her face, she was inches away from me. Keeping eye contact and still tapping her fingers, my blood ran cold and I rushed out of the cellar as fast as I could. Shutting the door behind me, the house was in complete darkness. I could hear the voice of my mom calling at me from the kitchen. I rushed kitchen. I rushed there and saw everyone sitting at the table, lighting the room with their phones. Barbie, we've been looking for you. Your dad went to get tools to open the cellar because we thought you'd accidentally locked yourself in. What happened to the lights? I asked, not wanting to freak anyone out. Well, we thought you touched it. The power switches are in the cellar. Are in the cellar. I didn't even finish listening to what my mum just said when I connected the dots. The switches were behind the Christmas tree box. I ran out of the kitchen using my phone as a flashlight. My dad was walking towards the cellar with a toolbox. Hey, kiddo, I thought you were in there. Dad, there's something in the cellar. I couldn't hold it anymore. My father's expression changed. He opened the door and went inside. I stayed out, frozen in fear, feeling how my blood ran cold as I hear something from behind me. Someone was tapping the wall. I got closer to the entrance of the cellar when I heard my dad yell, "Sweetheart, there's nothing in here, but maybe there was an animal or something." I walked in and peeked behind the box. My dad was fixing the power switches when I noticed in the wall, a little lower than the power switches, were brown fingerprints. Many of them, as if someone had been tapping on the wall. Thank you so much for reading this. I love you guys. Your videos and stories are amazing.
But fuck me, that's evidence.
That's it. Ghosts are real.
Evidencia.
Evidence. Right. Are you ready to get haunted?
But also, Barbie, send in the evidence photos
Oh
if you
yeah,
have
I'd
any.
like yeah, go and take the photos, please. I would really enjoy
Do your
that.
family now believe? Like what? Anyway.
Do you believe in life after love?
Is it love after love or life after love?
No, it's life after love.
Is it life?
I think. I actually don't know.
Okay.
Right, okay, we ready to get haunted?
So ready.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you a mirror. And I'm going to give you
Love a mirror.
a sweet treat. It's technically supposed to be chocolate.
Oh, I love a sweet treat.
But I don't have any, so it's going to have to be a yoghurt-covered rice cake.
Yummy.
So get one of those out. Can you save me one, though, because I really like
I only
those.
want a nibble on it. Because this isn't
where's
really my
mirror?
vibe.
Do you not like those?
No,
Oh,
do
it's
you know what I
stunning.
do like? The milk chocolate rice cakes.
Oh, they're fit as
Yeah, they're
fuck.
fit as fuck.
Right, there you go.
aren't they?
There's a mirror.
Thank you.
Oh, look. Right,
go.
what you
Got
need
my
to
little
do
bit there.
now, what we're going to do, right, today, is we are actually going to try and make contact with the Sweet Goblin.
What?
That is a true thing.
Sweet Goblin?
Yes.
What's the Sweet Goblin going to do for me?
No, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to turn up and eat your chocolate. This is proof that the paranormal exists. So, you have to be very quiet, and we from now on can't speak in anything louder than a whisper. Okay, put the mirror down, face up. Yeah. Now.
Do I have to look at it?
No. Stop looking at it, you narcissist.
Oh, I'm a
Now
narcissist.
get your chocolate.
Yeah.
And hold it just above the mirror. Right. Okay. Okay. You've got to repeat after me. And then when you've finished it, you have to drop the thing onto the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Sweet tooth, please come.
Hang on, let me just shove this. I'll do it like that.
Okay. Sweet tooth.
Sweet tooth, please come.
Repeat it 3 times.
Sweet tooth, please come.
Yeah.
Sweet tooth, please come.
Right, put it down on the mirror. Drop the mirror on the... No, don't drop the mirror, actually. I really like that mirror. Leave it there. Close your eyes. Okay, we're going to wait till 1, 2, 3. Open. Is there teeth marks? So...
Do you know what? There is a bit.
You're taking the piss?
No, round there. Like, look at that. It might just be the rice cracker. But I do
Probably,
see. Yeah.
No, I think that's tooth mark. And you've just put your fucking mouth over that. That's rank.
What?
You've just shared a
With the sweet
rice
goblin.
cracker with the Sweet Goblin.
Maybe I'm the sweet goblin.
It's absolutely... That is horrible. Stop chewing.
Well, that's my sexy talk.
Thank you so much.
Sweet
We've had an
Goblin's here.
absolutely stunning time today. We hope you have too. We've contacted the Sweet Goblin quite successfully, I think. Yeah, it's you.
It's
you.
me.
Yeah. The amount of people that are going to complain about this asthma is very bad. We'll see you next time. If there's still tickets left for Edinburgh, if we've still got a show on, please do come to that. Go to patreon.com/ghosthuns if you cannot get enough, and book Halloween out in your diaries.
What? Yeah.
Well, they'll be on sale by now as well.
Halloween is
So
going to
come on
be.
down.
It's going to go off.
We will see you there. Thank you so much. We love you. Bye.
We love you. Bye, everybody. Bye.